Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul Bentham, and this is my persuasive speech for Communications 101 at Liberty University Online. In the recent past, the youth of our country have become violent in their activities. Good examples are the crimes that we have recently heard about in the newspapers. The arrest of 7 young people being arrested for beating another youth on a school bus. Another one is the beating and the death of a male youth last year because of hatred and possible peer pressure. We as parents can have a proactive role in helping cut down the risk factors in juvenile crime. But we need to take it upon ourselves. We need to make an effort to guide them into making decisions that are right. Put them on a path that is justifiable and right. As a parent myself, it was and still is my duty to instruct my children in the necessary values that are true and right and that also glorify God. For the next few minutes, I will discuss 3 risk factors that are associated with juvenile crime. These factors are geographical locations that families may decide to live in, peer pressure, which also involves the interaction of other youth within that age group. And my last one is family or individual violence. These are problems that juveniles are facing. Juvenile crime is increasing rapidly. We as parents need to have a proactive role in their lives to help them stay true. The way we can do this is providing a best choice practice or best solution practice. And we as parents can make a sizable impact on juvenile crime. Regardless of what area a juvenile lives in, whether they be in a city or even in a rural area, he or she is going to be susceptible to this risk factor. Violent street gangs are now operating in an approximate 94% of all medium and large cities. But even in the cities where the residents are accustomed to leaving their doors open, they're feeling the message of crime as well. A statement by Stephen Wiley of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in an interview to CNN, he describes it in the best way possible. The small cities and towns with populations of 25,000 and less are feeling the effects of violent crime. One of the main concerns that we need to be considered when selecting a geographical location is the availability of churches. Churches usually offer youth programs for teenagers to help them refrain from getting into the wrong line. You know, this brings a memory back to me of an event that I was blessed to be part of. It was called the 3G. Some of you may have remembered me talking about it. It's gather, go, and give. The group I was with consisted mainly of teenagers. And these teenagers did an outstanding job working side by side in their own peer group with no pressure, no violent outcomes. Peer pressure, now there's another risk factor right there. This plays very heavily on juveniles. A brief example of this peer pressure is peer reputation. And it's best described as wanting to be part of something. In an article in the Journal of Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Nursing, Ann Stiles, PhD, and Thomas Rainey, PhD, both state that students that are rejected by peers in elementary and junior high schools are more susceptible to committing crimes in their youth and into their 20s. These individuals, the juveniles, the youth, they need to make a commitment not only to God, but also to themselves, to stand for what is right, to stand for what is just, and not fall into a group under peer pressure. The joining of community programs such as the YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, church organizations, they can help you build friendships and also self-esteem. Problems with an individual or even in the mix of a family can contribute to these risk factors as well. In an article of juvenile violence for the Psychiatric Clinics of North America, Charles L. Scott states, as with adults, one of the most important factors in determining juvenile risk for future behavior is the past history of violence. Children with aggressive parents are more likely to be violent in their adolescence and young childhood. In a national youth survey, 45% of these youth committed a serious violent offense before the age of 11. And this is going to continue into their 20s. If individuals or families are in danger from previous violence, it's best for all concerned to seek some form of counseling so healthier lives can exist. Activities like these, such as Habitat for Humanity, not only build strong relationships within the families, but also within the community. Another activity is become associated with theater, projects together. That can definitely help. To conclude, I've presented you with 3 risk factors and possible solutions of juvenile crime. The locations in which youth live now, peer pressure, and also family problems that might be existing. I encourage you to share the risk factors with your friends, your neighbors, co-workers, or other family members that might be having difficult times. Juvenile crime is rapidly increasing. We as parents need to have a proactive role in their development. We can do this by helping them choose to make the right decisions, by providing a best approach. And we also, as parents, in doing so, can have a very sizable impact on juvenile crime. Thank you very much.